Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. On 2K Sports, NBA action is coming up. And so, off the tip, it's Minnesota. Anthony looking it over. Rebound by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Outside Westbrook. To the paint. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Looking forward to seeing these two Western Conference juggernauts duke it out here tonight, Doris.
Well, you know, Kevin, there's an elevation in terms of what it means in the standings. But it also potentially means you could play this team when it matters most. So this is going to be intense tonight.
Here's Westbrook after the made shot from Carmelo Anthony. Booker outside. Inside. Brown. Duncan grabs the rebound. And here's Duncan. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. Here's Anthony. And that one off the back of the rim and in.
And the shooting form of Anthony, just perfect. He's dangerous with the catch and shoot and just terrific at scoring when in rhythm.
There's no quitting this guy. He just gives you great effort, and he continues to give you great production.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And he's shooting his free throws to the tune of 75% this season. Fairly standard number.
Will it go? Johnson with the block. Abdul-Jabbar misses.
Well, we didn't see the same kind of control we're used to seeing from him. This guy is usually a tremendous finisher.
Outside Anthony. Over Tatum. Anthony can't hit.
Well, that's a blown defensive coverage, but it doesn't matter. He cannot answer the bell.
You know, Doris, from the moment Jason Tatum entered the NBA, he has been the guy on his team. How big a burden do you think that is for a player to carry?
Well, Jason Tatum, regardless of how much responsibility he has always worn it gracefully. This young man, from the time he was a little kid in St. Louis, has dreamed of leading an NBA team. He is doing exactly that.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. To the inside. Goes back up. Kicks it out to Booker. A three-pointer, no good. Minnesota leading by 5. Deep 2 from Anthony. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
Boy, no idea why he went with the fadeaway. Had a clean look at the basket.
Here's Tatum. The shot's good. Brown making the play.
Well, size and skill. Tatum on the interior. Yes, sir.
And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. He wants a minute here to get things straightened out with his team.
substitution on the court.
And so it's Cunningham. He'll bring it up for Minnesota. It's a three-point game. Pass to Garnett. And it's... in by Garnett.
Well, posterizing defenders for over 2 decades now, Garnett. Yeah, he can still do this.
Westbrook. And he gets it to go.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
And I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
Now Tatum, following the three-point attempt by Cade Cunningham. Oh, the lob to Abdul-Jabbar. Here's Garnett. And it's good. Assisting on the play was English.
Well, the 5th player in NBA history to log more than 50,000 minutes. KG still getting it done inside.
Assist from.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Garnett outside. Pass to McGrady. 5 on the clock. And a wide open look for Cunningham. Knocks down the 3 ball.
You can play Cunningham on the ball, off the ball. He's really a generational talent partly because of his versatility.
Now here's Westbrook. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. With the drive, the putback, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
Minnesota leading by 4. Cunningham outside, down low, and the dunk by Embiid.
And you do not want to be on the receiving end of that. Embiid throwing it down with some funk. And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Puts up a deep 3. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
And I don't know how you guard Embiid when he's hitting shots from out there.
The kick out to Abdul-Jabbar. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. And it's 6 points here for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Embiid the screen. And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. Second team foul. Supersonic substitution. Number 40, Sean Kemp.
1:10 left to play here in the first. Cunningham for 3. Hands it from downtown. Cunningham's got a pair of 3s now in the first quarter for the Timberwolves. Westbrook. It's Cunningham with the rebound. This one for 3. It's hauled in by the Sonics.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
And he recovers it. Pass to Tatum. Another shot. Rebounded by Cade Cunningham. Minnesota leading by 10. 6-second difference between shot and game clock. And English gets it to go.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the 3s in time.
Here's Abdul-Jabbar. Seattle missing again. Back to McGrady. One second left. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. But Timberwolves on top. They lead by... And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in a second. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for Minnesota.
A huge part of their offense, pushing the ball. Looking for fast break opportunities, always a good idea.
Another big component of their early game tonight has been points off turnovers. Great job converting on those chances.
Getting the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Jaylen Brown has put it all together. He said, I'm figuring out my spots to be aggressive. That's in my DNA. But also showing how I've grown. Being a great screener, delivering passes on time and on target. That's important to being a great teammate. I'm focused on being a better basketball player. Kevin?
Yeah, and he's a smart one too, right, David? He is something else. Outstanding stuff, DA, as always. Hill with it. Now guarded by Towns. Hill has the open look. The 18-footer is right on the mark. Hill's got the lead up to 14 now for Minnesota. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Supersonics will retain possession.
Extremely fortunate they didn't lose the ball there.
The Supersonics making a switch here. Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 or 3 so far.
Well, this is where the powerful frame and explosive athleticism of Jaylen Brown becomes a problem for the opponent. Nicely done.
Tries it from the top of the key. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. Anthony's got 6.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
Here's Gilmore over Duncan. Gilmore, no good. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. Outside Anthony. Well, Doris, both you and I had the honor of being in that 2020 bubble in Florida. Any memories from Orlando?
I think, Kev, just how unique the setting was, and I have to give some props to the players. No fans, no normalcy, away from their families for extended periods, and yet they were able to lock in and give us some incredible moments.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
At the end of the day, though, it's 2 points. Don't hang your heads. Let's get refocused and play with more patience.
Puts up a deep 3. An absolute bomb from three-point range.
And that was an absolute bomb. Carmelo showing how confident he is.
Brown, good.
Good job attacking. Those restricted area shots are what every NBA team is looking for.
Here's Anthony. 9 points in the game so far. Pass to Duncan. The kick out to Hill. 3 on the clock. Back to Duncan. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team.
Coming onto the floor for Seattle.
Seattle trails by 19. Havlicek outside. No good with the triple. Timberwolves on offense. They're on a 13.
This is where Hill can hurt you. Once he has a step on the D in transition, it's lights out.
Here's Havlicek. Good work defensively by Anthony.
Boy, what a nightmare quarter for this guy. He's playing right into the hands of the defense at this point.
I see him. It's Hill on the wing. He's got 6. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Hill's got 8.
Well, you like that he shakes off that rocky first period and knocks down a shot. Nice.
Havlicek. And Gervin sends it back.
I'll tell you, you hate to pin this on one person, but his inefficiencies at the offensive end are holding this group back. Well, it looks like he has put that rough first quarter in the rear view. He's starting to cook here in the second.
Here's Havlicek. The shot's good. Brown making the play.
3.
Havlicek's got a couple of three-pointers in the second for Seattle.
I'll tell you, sometimes it's easier to hit the target with a bounce pass. That's perfectly done.
John Havlicek.
Timberwolves leading by 20. Duncan outside.
2 minutes.
And Duncan throws it down hard.
Yeah, and at 7-1, Duncan is a problem in the paint. Outstanding with his extension there and just hammering it home. Dead-eye shooting from them this quarter.
And it's Seattle with the ball. Here's Brown. And another basket for Seattle.
Sweet little mid-range from Jaylen Brown. That three-level scoring coming into play.
Duncan in the corner. That three off the mark.
Boy, a wide-open shot from his favorite spot. That is one he'd like to have back.
The shot by McDaniels, no good.
Maybe he rushes that just a little bit, who knows, but he couldn't have gotten a better look than that.
How's that for a one-man show? Put this fella on Broadway.
The most magnificent alley-oop we could have seen. Havlicek with it. Grant Hill covering. And Gervin over to help. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. Now Anthony. He's got 11. They get it back. It's back to Hill. Clock at 6. Tries again. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. And it's Towns with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Supersonics. And here's Green outside.
And setting the tone with that rejection, Duncan, the defensive anchor of this team.
Shot's good by Anthony. Anthony's got 13.
Well, I absolutely love the way this guy has controlled the pace tonight. They've been able to play the style they want.
Havlicek outside. Off with the layup. And so it's Minnesota ahead by 26 points as we get ready for the break. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. And here's Westbrook. And he drives in. 2 points. That one goes.
Well, there's only one way Russell Westbrook knows how to play, and that is attack mode all the time. Nice drive.
Cunningham with it to the left side wing. Here's Embiid. And the dunk by Embiid.
Oh, that's straight TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty, and he just has that effortless knack for getting inside. Cunningham outside. That's good. And so Garnett with the assist. 9 points in the game so far.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Pass to Tatum. Fires away from way outside. From beyond the arc and then some. Tatum's got his second bucket of the night.
How about the answer from Jason Tatum? Say it with your chest, Jason.
Cunningham looking it over. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. And here are the Sonics.
And what strikes me about Cade Cunningham is he's still growing. He's still capable of doing more on the floor. And he has the work ethic and attitude to make those improvements and become a real factor on the floor. And McGrady has an impressive vertical there, showing once again with how well he dunks the basketball.
For three, Westbrook. Rebounded by Tracy McGrady.
Well, that's just inconsistency from him, and it's happened all night, and it hasn't helped their cause.
And he comes up with the deuce.
Everything going to plan here to start the third. 80% shooting thus far.
On the wing, Booker. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Here's McGrady. The three-pointer off the mark.
And even without that three ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
The three from Tatum. Rebound by Joel Embiid.
Well, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
Booker outside. Beyond the arc. Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
And this is where you hope that he can find something easy so he can see the ball go through the net. What a beautiful stroke from range. Defensively, you've got to try to take him out of his comfort zone.
Here's Cunningham. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Gotta respect that Cunningham takes charge, making something happen and drawing the contact.
And so Cunningham nails both of them. And here are the Sonics. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. To the middle. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Listen, this guy is not the most dangerous threat from there, but you have got to honor the shooting a little bit. Well, as usual, this guy cooking on the offensive end, but right now the other guys on his team have got to step forward.
And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, improving dialogue between players and officials is a priority. Commissioner Silver says, now with high-fidelity audio, we're all able to hear a lot of what's being said. Now we have to take into account the high-stress environment. But there has to be a two-way sense of respect. I feel it's an area where we can make progress. Kevin?
You know, the commissioner's always looking ahead and looking at every area, which is great for the game. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge for an update on Jaylen Brown. David?
Hi, guys. The head athletic trainer for Seattle let me know the status. He's got an injury to his elbow, specifically his elbow joint, and it looks like it's a pinched nerve.
Well, thank you, David. Hopefully we'll see him very soon. Cunningham. And the shot is long. Inside. It's tipped. To the paint. Here's Green. English with some nice defense.
Great rim protection to prevent him from converting. Beautiful.
Cunningham's shot is off. And here's Abdul-Jabbar. He'll bring it up for Seattle. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Supersonics will retain possession. Some changes for Seattle. Oh, and here comes Johnson all alone.
Well, this is one of OG Anunoby's calling cards. His disruptive nature on the defensive end turns into transition opportunities. That is beautiful.
The kick out to Towns. His three-pointers off the mark.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Johnson down low. He has 5. Got it. Good job in the low post. Johnson's got 7 points in the game.
And when you have this kind of size as a point guard, what a tremendous advantage. Magic can really match up with all 5 positions.
Nice move. Magic Johnson again. Johnson's got 6 in the quarter.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And it's denied. Sent back by Siakam. And the basket by Johnson.
And the D getting outworked there on the putback. Can't let that happen.
You have got to put a body on somebody. We talk about it ad nauseum, but you've got to be disciplined with the box outs.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Anunoby has the open look. And that comes off the assist by Duncan. Anunoby's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Pass to Havlicek. Duncan outside. And the Timberwolves tack on 2 more. 6 seconds left. Oh!
Goodness. Ooh, rising and punching it on the young fella. You know he loves having that much of a height advantage. Best chance to beat yourself on the highlight reel. Well, overall, they're the team getting the better looks here in this second half.
And I think what's happening is they're getting their shots within the flow of their offense, and you can clearly see the difference.
And so it's Cade Cunningham making things happen for the Timberwolves. He finished. And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Now here's Johnson. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. McDaniels gets a wide-open look. Offline with his 3.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Basket good.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And it's in there.
Boy, how impressive is the quickness Jaylen Brown possesses. This guy sprints hard toward the cup on every drive.
And the man has no heart, and that's poor defense for a team that has a long way to catch up.
Well, credit the offense, though. If you're going to come with casual defensive effort, this team's responsibility is to take advantage, and they do.
And what's your take, guys, on the hustle sticks for the Timberwolves?
All game long, they've had active hands and really out in the passing lanes. And that aggression on defense has resulted in a ton of steals.
I think it's also important we have to acknowledge how many scoring opportunities they've created from their spectacular defense, getting a bunch of points off turnovers.
They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that.
Pass to Towns. Good work defensively by Anthony. Minnesota with the ball from the arc. And rebounded by McDaniels. And it's Jaden McDaniels with the foul. That's his first foul.
Yeah, clearly a foul of frustration right there.
And the Supersonics making a change here. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Anthony's got 19 points.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from three-point range.
Here's Brown driving to the basket. Off the mark with the floater.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Anthony up on top. The tray. Rebound by the Sonics. Morant surveying the D. On the wing, Brown. Lets it go. The Sonics again can't hit. And it's Cunningham with the ball for Minnesota. And that one's good. Gervin.
All these threes they're giving up have really been the driving force on this run.
Here's Brown. And Gervin sends it back. Oh, he really broke up that transition opportunity. Looks like it'll be a transition take foul. And Greg, we were talking Jaylen Brown making the 2023 All-NBA second team. That was big for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kevin, it made Jaylen eligible for the Supermax, signing for that 5-year extension in July of 23. At the time, the largest contract in NBA history.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks. Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
Here's Westbrook. And that comes off the assist by Abdul-Jabbar. Westbrook's got 9 points here in the second half. Count it.
And one of the areas where Cunningham has been compared to Doncic, his strength with the ball in his hands.
Westbrook can't get it to go. Cunningham with it. Westbrook picks him up. And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Greg, we know players are not shy about criticizing officiating. Anything you'd try to change or improve with the way the game is called?
Well, I like when the players and the refs get together in the offseason to go over video examples. And I think one thing that's important is you got to have relationships between the players and the officials. And then I think the fans can also then kind of get on the same page. There are going to be missed calls out there. That will never change.
Seattle missing again.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
And here's Anthony for 3. Sinks the triple. Anthony's got 25 points in the game.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
I'll tell you, you have got to have a short memory. You put a poor first half behind you, and you get to work here in the second.
Tatum with it. Grant Hill covering. Brown wide open. He fires. Drills the three-pointer. Brown's got 5 points now this quarter.
Now, Jaylen Brown is now so legit from deep, boy. You better make sure you're contesting that 3-ball. That's how good he is.
Gervin for 3. Abdul-Jabbar grabs the miss. For 3, Booker. And another 3 for Seattle.
3 points.
How about that? Impressive range from Devin Booker. Tremendous touch.
Fires from deep. Hits it from 3-point range. And he has 28 points for the game.
Yeah, coming down the stretch, they've become reliant upon their perimeter game.
Boy, the 3-point arc has been a major factor in what they've done here tonight. You love the aggressiveness.
Embiid, no good. And here are the Sonics. Here's Tatum. Outside Westbrook. There's the drive. And Joel Embiid pulls it down.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Minnesota.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And when it's all said and done here, this will mark their 38th W on the year. The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Carmelo Anthony.
He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
No one near Westbrook as he lets it go. Off target from outside. Deep 2 from Anthony. And the Timberwolves tack on 2 more.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
No question. They've gotten hot at exactly the right time. Clutch play on a team level. Boy, that's a bang-bang play on the inbounds pass. I like those quick hitters.
Nailed from three-point land.
They made the most of their opportunities, looking comfortable and locked in throughout the night.
What an impressive performance, to say the least. At this point, it looks insurmountable.
Goes up from the top of the key. It's hauled in by the Sonics. And here we go. Fast break. Booker's got it. Off target from three-point range. Here's Cunningham. And Cunningham with the slam.
And he can make some jaw-dropping plays. Cunningham loves to get to the 10 and finish with authority.
Abdul-Jabbar on the wing. Misses the wing J. So it's Minnesota winning this one easily. It was a tale of two teams tonight. One that was in total control, operating flawlessly. And the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go. And once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm. And
Well, the weekend has officially begun, and we welcome you to this 2K Sports presentation of NBA basketball. It's the Timberwolves facing Seattle. Along with Coach Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. Hall of Famer David Aldridge will be joining us from the sidelines moments from now. Booker's shot is good. And looking at tonight's contest, Coach, why are both teams so good rebounding?
Well, I'd like to say it's great coaching, Kevin. You know, I always give those guys credit. But in reality, both teams do have a philosophy to go after the ball, and both these teams have tough, active people who are committed to getting as many extra possessions as they possibly can.
And you can't win in this league unless you can rebound, right?
Well, especially on the defensive end, Kevin. You've got to be able to keep the other team off the glass. At the offensive end, it sort of varies from team to team.
And that one's good, Anthony.
And Anthony is certainly capable of sinking the triple. The D has to respect that quick release and get out on it.
Now, here's Westbrook. Taking a look at the scoring numbers, right now he averages about 9 points a game.
Well, the defense got lucky there. More often than not, he's making that shot.
Now Abdul-Jabbar, after Jason Tatum missed on that last three-pointer.
It's almost effortless for Booker this close in. He just drops the ball in the bucket.
Here's Hill. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. He can't get that one.
Oh, no excuse for a guy of his caliber. You've got to finish that slam. Got to be a little embarrassed by that one.
And the coaching staff has to be happy with how they've shot the ball here early on.
Outside Anthony. And the shot no good, a bit short. And it's Westbrook with the ball. He brings it up for Seattle. 4-point game. The kick out to Abdul-Jabbar. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist.
And just look at the grace, the agility, versatility that Jabbar brings to the center position. Can beat you in so many ways.
And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly. Minnesota making a switch. If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, Seattle's head coach and I did get the chance to chat. Coach said they want to force Jason Tatum to uncomfortable spots on the floor. Now, they recognize those spots are few and far between, but Coach wants to keep Tatum out of the paint specifically. If his team can do that and force Tatum to shoot more from outside, we feel relatively good about the chances. Back to you.
Thanks so much, David. Duncan outside. Back to McGrady. On the wing, Duncan. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Over Abdul-Jabbar. No good off the front iron.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
The amazing Nikola Jokic, Stan. How fun is this guy for us to watch every time we do a game?
Yeah, he's such an interesting guy, Kevin. He's got so many skills, and he's led the league in touches, but he's near the bottom in how long the ball sticks in his hand. Constantly making quick decisions and passes. This guy is really like watching the best we've ever seen.
I would agree. And what a quality to know where to go with the ball when the pressure arrives. Here's Westbrook following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Here's Tatum. Abdul-Jabbar trying to free himself up. Tatum's shot is off.
Now, this hasn't been his quarter so far. He's really struggling to get going.
Here's Gervin. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And that pick takes the D totally out of the equation.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look from that.
Garnett wide open. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. Westbrook surveying the D. Driving to the basket. And finished off by Westbrook.
And putting his burst on full display. Westbrook can blow by defenders in a hurry.
Garnett up top. Minnesota needs to get off a shot here. Sinks the triple. Duncan's got 5 points so far.
It's rare that you see this from Duncan, so you know he had to really like the shot.
Here's Tatum. Rebound, Minnesota.
He just doesn't look like himself this quarter. Something's missing.
Yeah, and sometimes guys just start pressing. The best thing for him is to just slow it down and concentrate on solid shot selection.
Now Booker following McGrady's three-point attempt. For 3, Westbrook. The rebound by Garnett. They've got the opportunity to get the lead back.
And they've been waiting for this chance all game long.
Here's Westbrook. And the dunk by Westbrook.
Ooh, what a burst of energy from Westbrook. He can just fly when he wants to.
Johnson outside. And it's Johnson with the jam.
Hey, dunks aren't always for the big fellas.
A serious power move from the point.
Well, in this league, you can see powerful plays from anyone and anywhere. Your position no longer dictates your scoring options.
Pass to Garnett. Straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. He goes on Jason Tatum.
And how about the power there from KG? He can fly with the best of them.
And here are the Sonics. Tatum. Cunningham with some nice D.
Well, this is certainly not the game he was hoping for offensively, but they've been able to find points as a team even without his contributions.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain.
This is his first free throw of the game.
And he is a cool customer at the line, guys. You've got to be when you're shooting 84% on the season.
The former #1 pick, Cunningham has dealt with some injuries, but when he's healthy, he's always a factor. That's not a bad shot at all. It just didn't go in. Sometimes the process is right, and you still get a bad result.
Russell Westbrook hit. And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Seattle. Guys?
Throughout the first quarter, they did a great job of just running the offense.
Yeah, and I love to see this kind of communication between teammates. Great player movement, great ball movement.
Seattle with the ball. Irving looking for an opening. Here's Towns. Oh, and the jam by Towns.
What a powerful dunk by Towns. Showing the rim, no mercy.
Out to Anthony. And it's good off the glass. Anthony's got it all tied up now for Minnesota.
Well, the defense can't lose track of him. He's just too talented offensively.
Towns at the elbow. To the paint. Here's Gilmore. Minnesota with the rebound.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Daniels, no good. Tatum wide open. He fires one. And they cash in right away with the quick shot. Tatum's got his second bucket of the night.
Well, we've all had those as coaches. That's a no, yes type of shot.
That's just good fundamentals from Cunningham. When a guy is that open, you got to get it to him.
Now here's Embiid. Nothing on the board. From the wing, Gilmore grabs the miss. Outside Irving. Pass to Towns. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah, and at 7 feet tall, Towns is a major threat inside. The defense has to guard him better than that.
Now here's Anthony. He has 7. Lays it up off the glass. Anthony's got 9 points.
Oh, great job by Anthony keeping his balance, not allowing the contact to stop him from scoring.
And that one drops for him. Three-pointer, Daniels. That's in, coming off the assist from Embiid. Daniels has got the lead up to 1 now for Minnesota. On the wing, Havlicek. Pass to Tatum. Left side, Towns. And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That's his first foul. Greg, every year, injuries are a huge factor in shaping the title race. And I'm guessing that teams should probably put more of a premium on durability. What do you think?
Well, Kevin, I think all GMs take that into account. A team wants to be confident it'll have a stable roster over the course of a long season.
Duncan in the corner. It's rebounded by Towns. And it's Towns with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Supersonics. They trail by 1. And the dunk by Towns.
I like that. Towns attacking the rim with intent.
Now Cunningham. Over Morant. Rebound by the Sonics. And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Thank you, Kevin. Nikola Jokic may not be the most physically gifted, but there's an old saying in basketball, you're as fast as you can anticipate. LeBron James says he sees plays before they happen. A lot of people don't understand it, but I do. He's special. Kevin?
You know, his mind for the game is just on another level. We appreciate that report.
And how about getting a hand up on McGrady, especially when he's looking to shoot from the outside?
Here's Morant. Scoreless thus far. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in.
If you look at the breakdown, Morant's as efficient as anyone when he's the ball handler in the pick and roll.
And Stan, as he enters his prime, Jason Tatum is shooting to become the face of the NBA.
Yeah, and Kevin, he knows winning is the key. For a star player on a great team, learning that balance, when to take over and when to set up your teammates is a big part of it.
And when you have this kind of size as a point guard, what a tremendous advantage. Magic can really match up with all 5 positions.
Here's Johnson. Following the basket by Ja Morant. Pass to Embiid. The big man Embiid converts inside.
We'll see if they can finally hold on to a lead. It's been back and forth all night.
Well, this is why the fans are here. Each team trading blows, increasing the entertainment value.
Yeah, and the long reach of Cousins really enables him to hammer home some skyscraping jams.
Here's Garnett. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. Garnett's got his second basket of the night. It's Morant with the drop. And it's out of bounds. And they say last touch by Garnett. So both teams making some changes here. There's 57 seconds left in the first half. Minnesota in the lead. Here's McGrady. Off target from three-point range. Here's Havlicek. Rebounded by Anthony. They have a chance to go 2 for 1 here.
Let's see how they play the clock.
.30 seconds left now here in the second. The three. It falls for his 5th field goal of the night. Now shooting 5 for 8.
Scoring at an efficient clip tonight. Melo in that zone.
Here's Johnson. Out to Anthony. Back to Johnson. Fires the three. Seattle grabs the miss. Brown outside. And once again off the mark by Seattle. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Timberwolves lead by 4. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Timberwolves leading by 4. Outside Anthony. Shoots over McDaniel. Anthony's shot is off. Seattle with the ball. Here's Cousins. And he drives in. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Cousins has got the first field goal of the second half for the Sonics. And finished off by Siakam.
A high-level athlete with underrated burst. Siakam continues to impress with his ability to finish.
Now here's Gervin. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. Free throw, no good for Gervin. Stan, of all the different styles of offense in this NBA, what style is the toughest to defend, toughest to stop?
Kevin, I don't think there's really any difference in terms of styles or systems in terms of what's tough to stop. It's players. And it's how well a system maximizes their best players. That's what makes teams tough to stop.
Now here's Westbrook. He's got 8. Booker outside. To the inside. And Kareem throws it down.
And not much you can do defensively once Kareem gets the ball in that close. Too much height, too much talent. Oh, and he got fancy with that one.
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open. And it's Seattle with the ball. Oh, wow, what a great move inside.
That is incredible.
And there's the ferociousness. Got to enjoy Westbrook taking flight and slamming it down there with authority.
Now here's Anthony. 12 points for him. That one doesn't go, but he's still shooting 50%, 5 of 10. Outside, Abdul-Jabbar. The three from Tatum. Rebound by Anthony.
but only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority.
Shoots from 14. Rebounded by Tatum. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for Seattle. And Greg, we were talking Jaylen Brown making the 2023 All-NBA second team. That was big for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kevin, it made Jaylen eligible for the Supermax, signing for that 5-year extension in July of 23. At the time, the largest contract in NBA history.
Off the bounce, Tatum has so many different ways he can take it.
And so Chris Finch calls for the timeout. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with his guys. Here's English. Still scoreless.
Joel Embiid. Alex English.
It's good from the top of the key.
And English is the full package on offense. This guy can score from just about anywhere on the floor.
Here's Tatum. And Tatum hammers it home.
And once he gets clear off the screen, there is no stopping him.
No, not when there's a flush waiting to happen.
Well, give credit to the screener there. That's how you help free up your teammates.
Here's McGrady. And Westbrook pulls it down. It's Brown on the wing. Down low. Abdul-Jabbar. The shot's good. Brown making the play. 8 points here for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And it's a great finish! Oh, my.
Doing it with style. McGrady punishing the D for giving him that kind of airspace.
Tatum gets the bucket. Now, here's English. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. On the wing, Tracy McGrady. Back to English. Buries the 20-footer.
And a lot of teams avoid the mid-range jumper, but they seem to be using it well.
Booker on the move. Abdul-Jabbar. Good D by Embiid. McGrady outside. To the middle. Wants to get it to English and does. Outside Hill. Shot clock at 6. This one for 3. English's shot is good. Now it's a 3-point Timberwolves lead.
Well, that's a shot you don't mind him taking. Gets a good look and trusts his shot to knock down the 3.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
Abdul-Jabbar on the wing. And here's Booker. And here's Tatum for 3. Buries the long-range jumper. Tatum's got the game tied up here for the Sonics. Pass to Embiid. Now here's Johnson. .131 left to play here in the third. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
Sometimes the action speeds up on you a little too much. Two teammates not on the same wavelength there.
Over in the corner, Brown. And Brown throws it down.
Flashing his athleticism there. Once Brown gets solid interior positioning, he's focused on jamming it home.
Now, here's Johnson. He's got 6. English inside. Back to Johnson. Good. Great play by English to set it up. Johnson's got 8.
Now, how did he manage to change his shot midair?
And that one, good. And the Sonics lead by 2.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
And McGrady has an impressive vertical there, showing once again with how well he dunks the basketball.
Abdul-Jabbar misses.
Got to run the clock and wait for the last shot.
Yeah, unless it's a gimme, there's no reason to put up an early shot here.
And guys, I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily the dramatics.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness. And as we conclude the third quarter, what a game. Neither team giving ground. Timberwolves ahead, up by 2. And we're... Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. And so Westbrook will bring it up with the Supersonics. Outside Irving. Pass to Towns. Over Anthony. And it's Towns missing.
I think he got the shot he wanted inside, but somewhere on the play, he just lost focus.
Cans it from downtown.
And boy, he's really in a groove. Dominant performance last game. Same thing this time out.
Yeah, for sure. He is just oozing confidence. Thinks every shot is going in. They should just keep running.
Absolute fearlessness. It's why we love Westbrook, just getting after it and drawing the contact.
Yeah, great effort tonight, and he's been rewarded with trips to the line.
Cunningham outside. Outside Anthony. Back to Cunningham. The turnaround Jay. Seattle grabs the miss. A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. Westbrook with it. And it's Daniels with the rebound. Pass to Gervin from outside the arc. The shot's good on the assist by Daniels. Gervin's got the lead up to 6 now for the Timberwolves.
And coming down the stretch here, both teams still on fire.
Yeah, in hopes that your opponent is just going to go cold, that's not going to happen. It doesn't look like in this one. This might go down to whoever has the last possession.
There's a certain resiliency to this team, and you're starting to see it.
Yeah, and as a coach, you love having a team like this. They've got zero quitting.
Outside Anthony. Three-pointer. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Well, Anthony is just this competitive. He wants everyone to know what he can do.
And Westbrook gets it to go.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Well, with him, he's dangerous because he's so confident. He wants to deliver in these moments.
Here's Gervin. And it's Gervin finishing it off.
Oh, I dunk you very much.
He can really fly, and you combine that, Greg, with some nice penetration, too, and you've got 2 points.
And he shows us all what the breakaway rim was invented for.
Can you believe he almost brought the whole thing down by hanging on that long? Gervin in the post. And it's Gervin finishing it off.
That's why you never quit battling on the offensive glass.
And that's a nice reward for his effort. The flush, perfect.
Well, that's what he does. He makes an impact with his activity on the board.
And it's Havlicek missing. Timberwolves leading by 6. Daniels from outside. That's in there. Anthony with the assist.
and they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Look, when the three is falling like this, there's not a whole lot you can do defensively.
Both teams will make substitutions. It's the Timberwolves now. Pass to Garnett. Over Siakam. And Garnett misses.
Yeah, trying to get separation from the defense right there. Just couldn't get it to go.
The explosiveness on the drive. Morant just attacks the D with aggression.
In a moment. Now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for Minnesota.
Well, their passing has been just exceptional, and it's opened up the floor for them on numerous occasions.
And also, the mid-range game has been working as well. They've kept that as a big part of their game plan, and boy, are they being rewarded for it.
McGrady. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Are you kidding me? The reverse windmill? He's got some serious nerve going to that finish.
Oh, he just couldn't help himself, could he, Greg? Huh? Had the space, has the hops, why not? Timberwolves leading by 8. Gervin for 3. Abdul-Jabbar grabs the miss. Here's Brown. Takes it off the glass.
And look, Brown is good at capitalizing inside, which is why the defense has to push him further away.
Tracy McGrady on the wing.
2 minutes remaining.
From 18 feet away. Perfect on the shot. Swishes it through. McGrady's got 4 points this quarter.
And this is McGrady's specialty. You can't let this guy shake free from the mid-range.
Timeout, Sonics. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Hey, Kevin, during the last break, I heard Seattle's coach as he addressed the team. Now, he talked about keeping confidence. He said, this game is close, but we know we're the better team. Now it's time to go out there and prove it. See if they can come back in this one, guys.
Thanks, David. Minnesota leading by 8. Here's McGrady. A second chance effort. Rebound by Kareem Abdul.
You can hear him sputtering all the way over here. He knows he should have knocked that one down.
I mean, that can happen to anyone, but it's ugly every time it does.
Yeah, that's one he'd like to have back. Those are the opportunities you have to convert.
Sonics making a switch here. Now Garnett. Pass to Johnson. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 9.
Magic Johnson.
And so he makes both from the line. We've got 1:08 left to play in the final quarter. Right side Tatum. That's out of bounds. Seattle will retain possession.
Well, that's just a careless pass. He's lucky that was just deflected and not kicked off.
1:03 left in the fourth quarter. And Towns gets it to go.
And it's fun to watch guys like Booker that see the floor, this well. Seems to always get it to the right man. And when you are as good a shooter as he is, you have to have the confidence to take that shot. Might not always fall.
That's one of those heat check shots, and heat check is a synonym for bad shot.
Gets the first, and that narrows the gap to 7.
Anytime Devin Booker is sent to the line, it's a win for his offense. He's pretty much automatic, and it's been that way since he entered the league.
Oh, that was some power on that dunk.
And how's that for a one-man show? Put this fella on Broadway.
The most magnificent alley-oop we could have seen.
What a big-time bucket. Tatum stepping up as a leader and coming through for his team.
And it's Durbin missing.
They've got to take the first good shot they can find.
Yeah, and it basically all comes down to this. If they come away empty here, this one's pretty much over.
And the all-around game of Towns can score it, rebound it, as well as pass the ball. So skilled at his position. Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let him dribble the game.
He hits the first one, and that puts them up by 5. Second one is good. Getting both at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
You've got to figure those are the free throws that officially put this game out of reach.
And so the Timberwolves take the win. They seem to relish their role. It's NBA basketball on 2K Sports. We're glad you could join us on this exciting Friday night matchup. It's the Timberwolves taking on the Supersonics. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Anthony's shot is off. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. It's hauled in by Duncan. And they blow the whistle for a foul. He was trying to disrupt the fast break opportunity. Well, Clark, it may not be for everyone, but we have a great defensive matchup this evening in this one.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is for me, Kevin. I mean, I like to see defense take center stage sometimes. I love when teams get after it and make it hard for each other to score. And if you're a basketball purist, this is must-watch TV.
Kicks it out to Johnson. No good from outside. Here's Tatum. And slam dunk by Tatum.
Tatum, like most players, is best when he's aggressive and attacking the basket.
Outside, Gervin. Seattle grabs the miss. Inside. Here's Tatum. And a great assist by Booker as that one goes in.
We know Tatum's got a terrific jumper, but I like when he pounds that paint, too.
Floats it up for Hill. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson.
Well, that's a moment he'd like to archive. Embarrassing lapse of judgment there.
And here's Westbrook. He'll bring it up for the Supersonics. Over Johnson. And it's Westbrook missing.
Very surprising that he came away empty there, especially given room to operate.
Back to Anthony. Clock at 6. Rebound by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
They are 0 for the game thus far. 0 of 4 here, still looking for their first win.
Take a risk with those long passes. They're lucky the D couldn't collect it.
Number 41.
The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Westbrook surveying the D. Tatum wide open. He fires one. It's good from long range. Tatum's got 7 points.
Well, I like how Tatum had his hands up and ready to go on that catch and shoot. Well done.
And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. He wants a minute here to get things straightened out with his team. Minnesota off to a slow start. 6-point game. And an intentional foul right there.
Second team foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play. Boy, the 5th time's the charm. That's a big basket there.
First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. And here's Tatum for 3. Missed the shot. He's 3 for 4 in the game. Well, Clark, we know Nikola Jokic has many interests outside of basketball, like training his horses.
I love that about him. Basketball season is over. He knows exactly what he wants to do and needs to do to take care of his body, but he's not going to be a slave to basketball year-round. He's got other interests, and he's going to indulge and engage in those. He's got other passions, which I love seeing, and horses apparently one of his other passions for sure.
And here's Westbrook, following the three-pointer by Carmelo Anthony. Tatum a screen. Over Garnett. Kicks it out to Booker. Shot clock at 6. Here's Westbrook. Abdul-Jabbar with the bucket.
Boy, nothing phasing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He doesn't let a low shot clock affect his judgment or the shot he wants to get.
And here's Anthony for 3. Rebounded by Abdul-Jabbar.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can count on him to continue missing.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. Jaylen Brown has put it all together. He said, I'm figuring out my spots to be aggressive. That's in my DNA. But also showing how I've grown. Being a great screener, delivering passes on time and on target. That's important to being a great teammate. I'm focused on being a better basketball player. Kevin?
Yeah, and he's a smart one too, right, David? He is something else. Outstanding stuff, DA, as always.
When Kevin Garnett gets that ball anywhere close to the rack, he's going to throw it down.
Here's Westbrook. And Westbrook throws it down.
Puts the D in a tough spot when you have a point guard who can throw it down.
He really does, GA. He really does put pressure on him.
And you know, guys, showing how dynamic a weapon he is for this offense, they feed off of that energy and ability to make plays. It gets them going.
Minnesota trails by 8. Richardson outside. Embiid wide open. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Seattle with the ball. Here's Abdul-Jabbar, and he can't extend the lead to double digits. And here's Richardson outside. Some solid defensive work there from Havlicek. Sonics leading by 8. He drives in, and that comes off the assist by Abdul-Jabbar.
Their play on both ends has been superb. We'll see if they can maintain the momentum.
And, you know, nothing like getting an opponent on the ropes early. You love that if you're on that side of the scoreboard, and they are landing some haymakers now.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
And the trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well.
And despite that miss, a strong start for them offensively.
Yeah, they're scoring with confidence, making them count in the early going here.
Yeah, a nice, strong finish on the inside.
But, Greg, that's what he does. He's got the dunker mentality.
An absolutely tremendous athlete, able to go up and finish over the biggest of defenders.
That one good for 2.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this league.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively. Boy, at the offensive end, his game is so impressive. I mean, he's a threat every time up the floor.
And the shot is good. McGrady's got his second bucket.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And you know you're going to get those buckets, guys, when you're quick to get out on the break. Get that ball up the court as fast as you can.
Now here's Westbrook. If you look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game.
Boy, that time Russell Westbrook going for the spectacular with a little extra pizzazz.
Here's Richardson. They trail by 7. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Pass to English. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Garnett. Shoots over Cousins. And again, it's Minnesota.
Well, you like guys who can work that in-between area, really keeps the defense honest.
And I tell you what, guys, I mean, with this combination of size and touch, he's a real threat from mid-range.
What a performance for Jason Tatum. He has been the story so far for Seattle. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. Back. And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Seattle. Guys?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Yeah, and it's worked. They've got a clear edge and points in the paint. Now we'll see if they go with a more balanced attack or just keep on pounding it inside.
And you watch Jason Tatum, year to year, he is a model of consistency. Across the board, the numbers are pretty similar, and the effort never wanes.
Yep, it counts.
A prolific inside scorer since his first day in the league. Towns gets the job done down low.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Tries it from 9. It's hauled in by Duncan. Minnesota trails by 5. Here's Gilmore, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Artis Gilmore is just a massive guy, and strong, too. I mean, rugged, a center that is flat out a beast on both ends of the floor. Banged my head against that dude many a time. It was not fun.
And eventually, every player, GA, has to grapple with age, realizing they've lost a step or two. Against the young fellas. And sometimes that is a very slow realization.
Oh, it is, Kevin. Hopefully, by that point, it's less about financial security and more about prolonging the inevitable, simply for the love of the game.
Outside, Towns. Nice D from Duncan.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D, just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Supersonics.
Well, you know, they've been aggressive on the defensive end, and it's paying off for them. Quite a few takeaways for them in the early going.
And another thing they've done so well is convert fast break opportunities. Great job trusting their guys and getting those easy ones.
Both teams deciding to change it up. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played so far. Johnson inside. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game.
You know, pretty much anybody can hit that shot when they're that wide open. I mean, terrible defense.
Tatum a screen. Out to the wing. Booker outside. Tatum on the wing. 6 to shoot. And here's Brown. Still scoreless.
We've come to expect plays like that from Brown. He won't waste any opportunity to throw it down.
Here's Gervin. Up top, Embiid. Pass to English. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
They are definitely shooting it well from beyond the arc right now.
Here's Brown. And Joel Embiid pulls it down. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Timberwolves. They trail by 3. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. And Magic Johnson with the slam.
A little extra magic for the fans on this play. Rising up for the slam. Well done.
Tatum's shot is off. They've got the opportunity to get the lead back.
And they've been waiting for this chance all game long.
How about the vertical of Hill? Outstanding. And rising up and ramming it home. Yes, sir.
Here's Brown to the middle. Embiid with the steal. Here's Hill. Here he goes.
And talk about putting some extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
Well, I tell you what, guys, the young kids like to say, that's doing too much. That falls into that category. That was too much.
Here's Tatum. Sinking that tough shot. Jason Tatum. Minnesota in the lead. And there's the foul. It's on Jaylen Brown. That's his first foul.
Personal foul. First team foul. Substitution on the court.
Minnesota with the ball. English misses. Pass to Gilmore. Now here's McDaniels. Here's English. Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there. English has got the lead up to 3 now for Minnesota. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
I mean, they've come out aggressive defensively, getting into them and coming up with some cookies along the way.
But how about their scoring in transition as well? That's been a big factor to this point. Are those high tops or track shoes these guys are wearing? My goodness.
And that one's good. Daniels. Now it's a 5-point Minnesota lead.
Just no resistance inside at all. They are feasting. This is a straight buffet.
It is. It's a big one. And load the plate.
Yeah, exactly. It sure is. Plenty of second opportunities. 8 of their last 10 points from the paint, but the defense still continues to back away and not show any aggression.
And he made the right read on that play, but just couldn't secure the steal.
You know, fellas, 1 second quicker, and that's going the other way.
Outside, English. McGrady, right side. Clock at 4. Going inside. There's the killer two-handed slam.
The ball handling of T-Mac, really impressive. Watching him play, this guy is a thing of beauty. Puts a lot of time into his ball handling. You can tell.
And really, Clark, Luka Doncic is a one-man wrecking crew on the offensive end of the floor.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, he's special. His IQ, his size, the way he can make shots against tough defense. He's got the lean back. He's got the crafty moves. And I think he's a lot stronger and a little more athletic than people give him credit for being. I mean, without a doubt, he's one of the most unique and best players that we've seen in the game.
Pass to English. Sinks the triple. English has got 11 points in the quarter.
And he's starting to show that killer instinct this quarter, looking to extend the lead.
On the wing, Booker. Now Towns. English covering. And the dunk by Towns.
The 7-footer Towns using his size to perfection down low.
Tracy McGrady on the wing. 6 points for him. High post, Embiid. The 3 from English. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with the basket coming off a pretty pass.
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
And Sean Kemp picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
Second team foul. Into the lineup for Seattle.
There's 14 seconds left in the first half. Anthony. Good. And it's McGrady who picks up the assist. Anthony's got 8 points.
And the shooting form of Anthony, just perfect. He's dangerous with the catch and shoot and just terrific at scoring when in rhythm.
Yeah, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
And how about that triple to put a cap on their run here going into the break. Finish that half on a big-time roll.
And so it's Minnesota in command with a 16-point lead as the buzzer sounds. Their work from beyond the arc has been a highlight. A lot of threes finding the bottom of the bucket. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. Seattle trails by 16. Outside Westbrook. Into the lane. And finished off by Westbrook.
Man, I tell you what, one of the things I love about Westbrook is the ferocity with which he attacks the rack. When he's driving inside, he's trying to punish the defender and the basket.
Personal foul. First team foul.
Anthony right side.
Hey, how about that defensive hustle by Jaylen Brown? I mean, just not giving his man any room to feel comfortable.
The kick out to Westbrook. Shot clock at 6. And there's the drive. And finished off by Westbrook.
Boy, this is Westbrook at his absolute best. Attacking, getting into the lane, and finishing in style.
English with no one around. And the wing jumper offline. Here's Tatum. Tatum jackhammers it in.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg.
Well, I like the way he capped off that drive. The one-hand pull punch.
Timberwolves leading by 10. Abdul-Jabbar with the steal. And finished off by Westbrook.
Well, putting that wide wingspan to use, Abdul-Jabbar just taking it away with ease.
And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. Wants to talk some things over, might be seeing some things to adjust. First minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter. Pass to Anthony. Now Garnett. That one's off. Still out of sync.
Starting slow in this half. 0 for 3 so far.
And the foul on George Gervin.
Personal foul.
That's his first foul. Minnesota on D. Searching for that first bucket here in the third. Outside Tatum. High post tries. Good for another basket. He's put up 10 shots and made 7 of them.
Yeah, a big part of this run here has been their ability to score from mid-range.
Here's Anthony. Hits from the high post. Anthony's got 13 points.
Finally, they get one to drop. That's one of their first 4 here in the third.
And out of bounds is the Timberwolves gain possession.
And that's just another mistake. I mean, they've got it on autopilot, and they look totally dejected.
And it's Anthony with the ball for Minnesota. Fires from deep. And it's Seattle with the rebound.
Oh, this is turning into a slow start here in the second half. Seems like they left that offense in the locker room.
Coming at you with so many ways to get his points. Tatum draws a lot of contact throughout the game. Gets himself to the line.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And examining his numbers this season, we can see that he's been an exceptional free throw shooter, right around 85.
Yeah, guys, I mean, he's been a very steady hand for them when it comes to his free throw shooting.
High, arcing shot. A nice shot by Gervin. And the Timberwolves lead by 8. Now Westbrook. He's got 12. Takes it out to Siakam. Pass to Brown. 6 on the shot clock. In the corner, it's Westbrook. Moves back up. 2 points. That one goes. 14 points for Russell Westbrook.
Seems like he can't miss right now, guys. I mean, completely in the zone this quarter.
Count it.
And when you have this kind of size as a point guard, what a tremendous advantage. Magic can really match up with all 5 positions.
Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Pass to Abdul-Jabbar. Up and in on the layup.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Minnesota leading by 6. Here's Gervin. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And Greg, we were talking Jaylen Brown making the 2023 All-NBA second team. That was big for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kevin, it made Jaylen eligible for the Supermax, signing for that 5-year extension in July of 23. At the time, the largest contract in NBA history.
Great crossover to get free. Westbrook's got 10 points here in the second half.
Dialing back the clock right there. When Russ is pulling off moves like this, he's unguardable.
Gervin with it. Now guarded by Tatum. Johnson outside. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Garnett. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's going to be on Siakam.
You know, the length KG has creates problems for defenders, which is why they often foul him inside.
Clark, what we appreciate, for some players, success can change them, but not for Jokic. He seems like the same guy.
He certainly does, boy, and he is special. He is so much fun to watch. Seems to be even-keeled and down to earth, but his game is heaven sent for sure.
Here's Irving. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup.
Love watching Irving do his work in there. Kyrie's so good and crafty and tight.
Back to McGrady. It's rebounded by Towns.
And priority number one has got to be the finish, guys. And guys, Havlicek in a nutshell. Just constant motion, unparalleled stamina. This guy will wear you out.
Pass to McGrady. Back to Embiid for 3. They get it back. Garnett. And it's Kevin Garnett with the finish.
Reads shot trajectories so well. Garnett understands how to capitalize on that offensive glass.
.1:15 left to play in the third. Pass to Siakam. Misses the 3.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
The battle to a standstill on the boards has really been something to watch. And the game's not over yet. We'll see if one of these teams maintains more energy than the other going down the stretch.
Pulls it up. Garnett with another miss.
He just has not been himself this period. Just too inconsistent up and down at the offensive end.
And wiry strong, Siakam just snakes inside and makes a nice play off the contact.
Here's Johnson. Pass to Embiid. Goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. It's going to be on Siakam.
Yeah, exceptional play there to take the bump and still get it to fall.
I like to call that stick-to-itiveness, getting everything he possibly could out of that play.
And it's Irving with the ball for the Supersonics. Siakam's shot is off. Outside Anthony. Traps in the tray. Anthony's got 16 points.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
And that's how it goes with him. I mean, his hot streaks, guys, don't last minutes. They last days.
And that does it for the third quarter. Both teams clicking offensively as we approach the fourth quarter. Timberwolves. Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. Timberwolves leading by 5. The tray. Jaylen Brown with the rebound. Pass to Cousins. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Timberwolves.
Well, you know, they've been tremendous, I think, when it comes to sharing the basketball. You know, getting guys involved on the plays and creating offensive opportunities for everybody. Equal opportunity offense is fun to watch.
And also, they've made it a point to push it off turnovers. They're playing smart and alert, capitalizing on mistakes.
Embiid, no good. Seattle trails by 6. Here's Brown, and the layup's good off the glass.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
Anthony looking it over. Pocket 6. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. And it's Seattle with the ball. They've only given up 1 point in the fourth quarter. Pass to Cousins. It's stolen by McGrady. Drives to the hoop. Oh, took the contact and tried to throw it down over the top. But instead, he'll shoot free throws.
The size and skill McGrady brings to his position, really special. He's somebody you love to see play the game.
And McGrady drops them both. And Clark, the debate around Karl Anthony Towns. Is he the greatest shooting big of all time?
Well, look, if you just want to go numbers, it's an emphatic yes. No 7-footer has ever shot it like Cat. Around 40% from 3 over his career. It's not just a 1 or 2 season deal. That's a multi-year career. So I say yes.
Timberwolves leading by 4. And here's Anthony from the arc. It's hauled in by Brown.
And since halftime, he has just been ice cold. Just can't seem to get anything to go his way. The chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding basket.
Oh!
My goodness.
Doing it with style. McGrady punishing the D for giving him that kind of airspace.
Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. It's Carmelo Anthony on the wing. Good. And it's McGrady who picks up the assist. And now a 6-point Timberwolves lead.
Well, you got to respect the jump shot of Anthony because he's got the ultimate green light. And because of that freedom, he's a dangerous guy on the perimeter.
Pass to Towns. Uncovered. It goes straight through with the switch.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
They're doing a better job of working themselves to the line here in the second half.
That's exactly how you do it. Then they're pressing up on you, you press right back.
Wow. What, did he have something in his eye on that shot?
Maybe. And he sinks the second.
And just a better job of getting to the line here in the second half. Didn't get there once in the first.
And that one's good. Westbrook.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Outside Anthony. Over Tatum. Another miss by Minnesota. And so Westbrook will bring it up for Seattle. Pass to Towns. Back to Westbrook. And it's Seattle with another.
Moving it around. 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
You know, nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball.
Oh, my goodness. What a play.
Hey, when this team needs a basket, they look at McGrady, and he rarely disappoints.
Westbrook up top. And here's Tatum for 3. A three-pointer is right on target. Tatum's got it all tied up now for Seattle.
And such a clutch shooter. I mean, he lives with a big shot. And when he's rolling like this, watch out.
And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. He has decided it's the right time to talk. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
I was able to listen in on what Chris Finch told the team. He asked his team to dig deep. He said, I know you're tired, but they're tired too. It's about who can give more than the other guy at this point. Show me what you can give. Back to you.
Thanks, David.
You like Embiid's confidence and willingness to step up in the big moment.
Pass to Tatum. There's the three. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Tatum's got a pair of threes here in the fourth quarter for the Suns. And Duncan throws it down.
How about the concentration from Duncan? Doesn't budge, even in the biggest of moments.
Here's Westbrook. And he lays it straight in. Westbrook's got 6 in the quarter.
What you expect from Westbrook coming up big in the biggest moments.
Timberwolves on offense. Down low. Embiid absorbs the contact on the finish.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Well, you don't want to give him any open shots at this stage. Never mind a layup. Come on now. My goodness.
Cousins, no good.
Boy, that defense smothered him in there. Love the intensity.
And then Johnson with the jam.
Big shot maker. When the game heats up, so does Magic.
We've got 1:28 left in the fourth quarter. Westbrook drives in and finished off by Westbrook.
And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Boy, picture perfect teamwork that time, guys. One guy sacrificing for the other. That's how you succeed in this league.
To Johnson. Driving in. 5 on the clock. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. Here's Westbrook. Minnesota with the rebound. Guys are not going to be in any rush on this possession.
Not with the lead. Now's the time to burn some clock.
Can't afford any wasted possessions down the stretch.
It's not over yet.
Here's Minnesota. The lead is 2. English left side. Knocks down the trifecta.
Relentless in their approach, even with the game firmly in hand.
And, you know, until that final buzzer sounds, I mean, you've got to treat every possession like it's crucial. Boy, talk about staying poised under pressure. Calm Cousins doing work late.
And you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Sure, it's not over. The clock is as much a problem for them as the score is right now, so they've got to try to manage it.
Good on the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion.
15 foul.
So he gets them both, and it's a 5-point game.
That ought to do it. I think any chance for a miracle comeback just went out the window with those freebies.
Got it.
Boy, he's playing out of his head, nailing everything. And the defense is scrambling to try to stop him right now, and so far, no go.
Westbrook with it. Off the inbound pass. And so Minnesota takes the win. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't seem to bother them. I mean, road team, home team, all I know is they were the better team.
Well said. And that'll do it, folks.